There is one person who is extremely bitter and jealous that she didn't get enough attention after the Oscars, that it all went to Will Smith and Chris Rock after the slap, because she's been doing anything and everything she can to make sure people pay attention to her in the aftermath. And although I will pay attention to Amy Schumer, it's just going to be to roast her. Amy Schumer says Secret Service got involved after receiving death threats for Oscar's joke involving Kirsten Dunst. And I don't know how believable I find that, and we'll get to why I think that. She went on to say that some of the threats she got were just so misogynistic. But she also doubled down on the fact that she was traumatized after what she witnessed, and that some of the attacks on her were rooted in misogyny. We all knew that this would be the end goal for these three hosts of the Oscars, for Wanda Sykes, for Amy Schumer, and Regina Hall, to basically go out there and play victim in some way when people weren't talking about them in the aftermath. These three hosts were one of the reasons that it was the second lowest rated Oscars of all time. They were not funny in any way, shape, or form. The jokes were terrible. The delivery was terrible. And of course, the entire thing got woke and went political from the very beginning. Well, now she's going on the Howard Stern show to once again say, you should be paying more attention to me over what happened. If there's one person who can claim to be a victim at the 2022 Oscars, it's definitely Amy Schumer. The biggest story the last several weeks has been the fallout of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, as we've talked about in great detail. While Rock was the person who was assaulted for making a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, comedian Amy Schumer wants the world to know that she is also a victim of a joke that she was part of during the show. During the broadcast, Schumer did a scripted bit where she mistook actress Kirsten Dunst for a seat filler and kicked her out of the seat in front of her husband, Jesse Plemons. Both were nominated in supporting roles for their performances in the film The Power of the Dog. And if you needed any proof at this point, I think everyone that had this stance when I came out and was talking about the slap and talking about the reasons why it was absolutely definitively real, a lot of people were pushing back on that. Those people have quieted down with everything that's happened in the last few weeks. But if you needed any more proof that the Oscars, these people couldn't actually script something that was that real and that raw and that entertaining, just take a look at this.
So what the seat fillers do, I hear you, seat fillers. I'll just explain what you do. So when you get up to go to the bathroom, or if you're going to cry because you didn't win, oh my.
There's nobody laughing at this stuff through the entire time. Just so you know, if you've watched any of these clips, there's like silence, and then there's a little bit of ha 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 laughter from the crowd. That's what happens every time Amy Schumer opens her fat mouth.
Oh my God. Actually, you know what? Let me just show you what the seat fillers do. Okay, here's a seat filler. Can we get you up, honey? You want to go to the bathroom? Okay. Let's just get you. Thank you, seat fillers. Love them. Jesse, I loved you in Power of the Dog.
You know that was my wife, Amy.
You're married to that seat filler?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
So that was the joke, right? That was the hilarious side-splitting joke from Amy Schumer at the Oscars about Kirsten Dunst. Now, that blew up a little bit for some people on social media because there was a couple stans that got a hold of it and did the insane things that stans sometimes do. You know, Amy Schumer calling Kirsten Dunst a seat filler because it's always the lamest of bitches who think they can make fun of perfect girls. Another person said Kirsten Dunst should have slapped Amy Schumer at that point. Chris Rock ain't the only one who deserved a bitch slap. Apparently there were some people, she says anyway, that there were some people that gave her death threats over this. I don't necessarily doubt that happened, that she got some DMs, because frankly, I get stuff every day in Instagram or Twitter DMs. It's from those people. It's not to be taken seriously. It's to be laughed at, because none of these people will actually do anything. They're all pussies. They all hide their faces. They all hide their names. It's nothing I've ever worried about. And whenever it happens to me on a large scale, I often monetize it and make fun of these people and roast them. Well, Amy Schumer is deciding to play the victim in this case. In a recent interview, Schumer revealed that some of the audience thought the bit was real, and as a result received death threats since the show. Schumer explains, and the Kirsten Dunst, I did a bit with her and Jesse Plemons, that was completely orchestrated. We talked beforehand. The joke was that I was pretending like I thought she was a seat filler, and we all worked that out together. Yeah, it was scripted. That explains why it was so cringe and unfunny. I got death threats. The Secret Service reached out to me. They were so bad, the Secret Service reached out. Yeah, about that bit. I'm like, oh, I think you have the wrong number. This is Amy, not Will. You must have the wrong, no, you are getting death threats. Okay, not that I want Will to get death threats. So, like, Amy Schumer is related to Chuck Schumer, who in theory could get Secret Service protection. I don't know if he absolutely has it or not. But the idea that they would reach out to like a second cousin twice removed or whatever about internet threats like that, I don't know if I buy that. I really am not sure. And I don't trust Amy Schumer. This is someone who has lied about things in the past a ton. She's stolen jokes. She's stolen sets. She is a complete narcissistic liar. That's what she does. That's what her entire career has been made out of. So no, I don't necessarily believe her. But with that being said, she does go on. She added, but the misogyny is unbelievable. When Stern asked her to explain why she got them, Schumer responded, because they were like, you can't do, who do you think you are to disrespect Kirsten Dunst like that? The Secret Service, the LAPD, because they were that serious and that many. And they called me and they were like, did you make fun of Kirsten Dunst at the Oscars? Yes, Kirsten, we worked it out. But she was really nice. Her and Jesse are the coolest, and she even posted like, hey, I knew about that bit because she knew I was getting these threats. Schumer is there it is, second cousin. I didn't know exactly what a second cousin to Democratic Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. They really don't even know each other. They worked on one thing where they shielded for gun control at one point. They're not very close. The fact that the Secret Service reach out, I find it highly unlikely, but that's just me. This is what her side of the story is. As noted by Schumer, the LAPD has looked into the threats, but the extent is not known. And of course, she has to revisit and try to qualify this. It wasn't just Schumer's bad comedy. She also took heat from progressives on social media after making the claim she was, quote, triggered and traumatized after witnessing Will Smith slap Chris Rock. People made fun of me for saying it was traumatizing. I don't think it was traumatizing for me. I think it was traumatizing for all of us. She tried to make it out like she was in bed, like she couldn't even operate, she couldn't work, she needed a break. That's what she made it out to be. 2 weeks ago, the comedian claimed she was disturbed in a now deleted Instagram post. She said, still triggered and traumatized. I love my friend Chris Rock and handled it like a pro. Stayed up there and gave an Oscar to his friend. The whole thing was so disturbing. I'm in shock and stunned and sad. I'm proud of myself and my co-host, but yeah, waiting for this thickening feeling to go away from what we all witnessed, she added. She is so desperate to get more attention after this. And again, I will give her attention. It's just not going to be the type that she wants. Amy Schumer does not like it when people make fun of her. She likes it when people feel bad for her or elevate her in some way. The only time I will likely ever talk about Amy Schumer is to rake her over the coals and roast her because that's what she deserves. She is a woke, unfunny, hack piece of shit. And I'll make sure everybody knows it. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.